school lunch in elementary schools here, and what I've seen today is incredible. This is Shikahama Mirai Elementary School, but it could be any public school in Japan. By the time classes begin at 8 a.m., the staff is already making lunch in a spotless kitchen, run by people dressed like they work in a sterile microchip factory. Around here, school lunch is a big deal. So, from scratch, every morning, vegetables, meat, everything is delivered into a kitchen from small shops in every district. Each school has its own nutritionist. The food comes into this kitchen, and we've been watching for the last 2 hours or so, vegetables being washed, being cut, being prepped. So it is about lunchtime, and you can see the kids behind me are getting ready for lunch. 6 kids are tasked every day with serving each other, and they have just fetched their carts of food, plates, and utensils. And you can see that they are in their cute little uniforms. They've got their hats, masks, and apron of sorts. I don't know that I've ever been excited about cafeteria food. Something tells me this is going to hit a little different. On the menu the day we were there, rice, blanched vegetables, soup, and a special treat, fried squid. The school says the kids only get fried foods about twice a month. This is a very balanced meal. You've got your protein, your carb, a lot of vegetables, and the dessert is a quarter of an orange. No one eats until everyone is served. They briefly give thanks.
Itadakimasu.
And these vegetables, as I eat this, I enjoy this stuff, but I'm shocked that the kids have cleared their plates of these vegetables. But getting kids to eat healthy is more than a skill. It's a mission, says the school nutritionist. The main principle here is we want to teach kids from an early age to know how to eat so they can carry on those life lessons through adulthood.
Peace up to the tribe. We gotta get into it. We gotta get some type of understanding as to why things are the way that they are. The clip that you seen a few moments ago, you have a beautiful country like Japan, which hold their citizens in high regard. You know, they have a love for their people. A note to that also in Japan is one of those blue zones. If you don't know what a blue zone is where you would find centurions living, masses of people that live over 100 years old. Most inner cities, especially in America, you will find that the average person lives about 67 to 73 years old. But these blue zones, such as Japan, live over 100. And a lot of it is attributed to their culture. As you saw in the clip, even in schools, elementary, middle school, they are fed good food. They're fed good food. The primary plate is fruits, vegetables, grains, you know, and also they are learning simultaneously servitude, because the students actually take part in disseminating or serving the meals. So not only are they healthy, but they understand the value of serving one another. So that in itself is outstanding and amazing. So when you have youth from the very tender age of 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 years old, coming up and they're learning the value of nutrition. They're learning the value of serving one another. You know, the African proverb that it takes a village. They are taking that to a whole nother level. And if you are into Japanese culture, every little thing that they do, from sweeping the yard, the house, watering plants, the Japanese actually did a study on water, where they found that water have what they call soft intelligence. You understand? They put labels on the, you guys know, I mentioned it before. For those of you who are here for the first time that didn't hear it, the Japanese did a study on water and put labels on water. One bottle had labels of love and goodness and righteousness and well-being. The molecules from that water it took on snow-like patterns. On the flip side of that, they had labels of profanity and hate and all of these things. And the patterns that the molecules took on was like oil-based and murky, right? So the water showed that it was a difference, that it understood the vibration or the frequency that was on the bottle. So the direction of the conversation, we're talking about how Japan gives back to its people in the way of education, in the way of nutrition, in the way of critical study when it comes to, hey Dada, excellent, when it comes to these high frequency, high vibrational subjects. So that's why they have a high life expectancy, right? These are the blue zones we're talking about. Now, I'm going to pivot a little bit. I want you to see a clip from another video, and I'll be right back, man.
Concerns over safety. The study recommends that consumers soak vegetables in salty water, wash under running water before cooking to protect themselves from potential health risks linked to pesticides residue exposure.
While pesticides contribute significantly to agricultural productivity, concerns have emerged regarding the continued registration and use of several highly hazardous pesticide formulations that have been restricted or withdrawn in other countries. A study by the Kenya Organic Agriculture Network recommends several ways that consumers can use to reduce pesticide residue in vegetables.
That research was conducted at the University of Nairobi in collaboration with other accredited laboratories. And we were able to sample 45 samples from major markets in Nairobi as mentioned, but we wanted to do them here in our local market using our foods that have been contaminated at production and understand how would they do and what can we advise our consumers.
Yes, family, I gotta apologize because the mic wasn't on the beginning part of the video, but I kept the footage because I think you guys can understand and hear what it is that I'm saying. So you saw the second clip where in a beautiful, majestic country such as Kenya, where it's reported that the very first man, woman, child came from this very region. And this is more so political, but know of a surety that I'm not a politician whatsoever. It's just an observation. And I'm here to ask the family, the tribe, what are you guys' thoughts? Seemingly, where there's certain chemicals that's being allowed to be implemented into the food supply here and in other African countries, that these same chemicals is banned in Europe. But they are being allowed to be disseminated amongst the people here. And it's whatever happened to for the people and by the people. You see, family, people is the number one resource on the planet. And the people is the prize, right? People is what makes it all go round. But if you look up in the life expectancy in Kenya is shy over 60 years, then you have to take a critical look as to what's going on. You have Japan, 100 years. Kenya, 60 plus years. Something is wrong there. Something is wrong there. So people have to begin to ask the questions, yo, what is going on in our food supply? What is going on in the air, in the environment, in the water? Why are certain chemicals being banned in Europe, UK, and it's being allowed? If it's not good for people in the UK, then definitely it's not good for people here. I mean, just make me understand, family. This is a question that I have. I'm new to the country. I'm only been here a little over a year. So I'm trying to learn. I'm learning the ropes. I'm learning how things go. And it is even to my understanding that people share with me that organic farming, organic seeds is under attack. And that only certain big scale farmers can handle certain seeds. So I'm just trying to figure out, family. You know? For a nation that cannot, a country, a continent that cannot feed itself cannot be considered a country or a continent or even a people. If you have foreigners dictating, if you have world powers, Eurocentric powers dictating what it is that you should consume, and you look up and it's to your detriment, then it is upon the people to push back. And just like the Japanese said, no, we want to live. Just like they said in the UK, nah, y'all can have that. We want to live. We have a right to live. Food grows naturally. And people may say, well, you know, a bunch of pests and doo-doo and insects. But if insect consumes, that means it's good for consumption. So if you turn around and spray stuff on your own food that kills life, what is it doing to you in the long run? I'm not claiming to be a physician, doctor, healer, none of those things. It's just an observation that I have. And I just came across some short clips that I wanted to share with the family. Why? Because this is our digital village and this is our space where we can chop it up and talk about important topics such as this. I don't know about you all, but I don't want to make transition. I don't want to be unalived at 60 plus years old. At least let me reach the evening of my years. late 80s, 90s, a little over 100, cool. If that's what it's going to be, that's what it's going to be. But 60? Come on, guys. Come on. Let's ask more questions. Let's get more involved. Let's care more for one another. For those of you who are sitting on tons of information about this topic, speak about it. Stir the pot a little bit. Just like they did in the UK, they pushed back against the powers that be, and certain things was banned. Same can apply here. The power is in the people, not the other way around. Always remember that. This is your brother Samal here. I want to say thank you guys for spending a few minutes with us today. I know you could be anywhere else in the world doing any other thing, but you sat in and you listened to what I was sharing, and I pray that you guys participate in dropping a comment, liking, sharing. If you haven't yet, if you like this type of content and you see what we've been doing, please give us please subscribe to the platform, the channel. Channel. I'm going to tune out right here, family, just to tune back in. Peace out to the tribe, and always remember to take care of yourselves.